Good morning and welcome to the pre-market live show. It is election day, November 5th. It's Tuesday. Everybody make sure you're getting out to vote. And the heat map just changed over and it's looking green this morning. Finally, Microsoft's up a bit, 0.34%. Apple's just barely down 0.04%. Amazon's up 0.23%. Tesla's up almost 2%. Nvidia's up almost 1% there. So we're looking much better this morning, and Meta's almost up 1%. So way better for the Mag 7. The rest of the market's looking pretty. If it's not green, it's just a little flat, but nothing crazy there. No bright red spots. So that is good. And let's see how the market's going to look on election day. Here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice. So please always do your due diligence. Here we go. Let's take a look at our Jolie's jumpers this morning, see what's going on. I see that ALBT and SPPL. We were looking at SPPL last night. They're both running up, but let me take a look at our list and see what's happening here. Let me get into that real quick. Boom, let me find it. Where is it? Here we go. Let me find that. It should be right there. And there we are. It looks like, was that the list? Yeah, BCOV. That's it right there. BCOV. Here we go. Bright Cove is up this morning, running up there. BCOV. Let's see on mine what it really did. 270, and it actually did pull back yesterday. I couldn't really tell if that was yesterday or today. Yesterday opened at 246, got up to 288, and then today it opened at 270, came back to 241. It's at 251 right now. And it's not, there's a good support line at that 252, so it could get bouncing back up there, BCOV. So we'll take a look at that one, see what it wants to do. But like I say, these penny ones, and if they're popping at 4 a.m. on Web Bull, and then they're coming back down. So that's the look you get. Unless you're trading on Web Bull, you're not going to catch the top of these anyway. BLNK is at $2.01. And let's just see what it's looking like today. It had that weird look yesterday. It was kind of crossing down, pulling back, but I think it's making a base right here. If anything, it pulls into the 190 area. Nothing crazy, but I think it's getting set up. And like I said, it touched that 225. We were going to reevaluate it, and I think it's setting up again to get moving. So that's BLNK. BNOX. Let's take a look at that one. BNOX. That was up. That's up 20 cents. That's 100% runner right there. It looks like BNOX. Let's see. Ran up a little yesterday and then today 25 to 50 and it's sitting at 40. So there you go. That definitely ran up right there. BNOX. So that's a big popper. How about our DJT this morning up $3.16 from yesterday? And it did what it closed at yesterday. It closed at 34 and now it's gapped up to 37 already. And DJT, I told you guys when it was curling up, and let's see it really start to curl, and it's going to blast off. And like I posted last night, everybody just go vote, and it doesn't matter who you're voting for, just make sure you vote. But I expressed what I thought during the election. I went through all the betting odds and everything else. So if you want to check it out, there's videos up, and there you go with them. But drug that keeps moving up. I'm telling you, it wants to roll off this MACD and pop up even more. And I don't know how, but it certainly does. Keep an eye on it because if it rolls up, it may get higher than it was before its high, and that was at $79. So I'm watching it to see if it wants to roll off. It's at 50.59 right now, so it could easily get up there. How about ELWS? We were looking at it yesterday, and I said keep an eye on it for a momentum play. Yesterday it ran up from 279 to 463. Let me look on mine, it'll be better. ELWS and 279, 469 yesterday, and this morning 455 down to 436. So it actually dipped down. That's why I wanted to look on mine because I couldn't really tell. And yeah, it did. It opened at 441. It says it got up to 446. I'm not so sure, but it might have just gapped up a little. Well, no, it closed at 440. Oh, it closed at 437. So it gapped up a little bit this morning, not much. It just opened up a little higher and came down. I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on there. So that's what happened right there. ELWS. And like I said, it was in the top, so see if it can keep running around up there, but not sure after this morning. NUWE, this one spiked up yesterday. Let's see what it did today. This was on our list not very long ago. 250 to 419 yesterday, but today it opened at 280, came back down to 247. It's at 274 right now. And they have their earnings coming up on the 11th, which are Monday. So we'll see how this one wants to if it wants to bounce back up there. It doesn't look too bad to be honest with you. So I'll keep an eye on it. How about Fun? They had that news yesterday and it is trying to crawl up. It's just pulling back but making some room there. And their earnings are coming up on the 7th as well on Thursday when the Fed speaks. So Fun probably will have better earnings. It's been running up there. And let's just take a look and see what it's doing this morning. PHUN. I mean, it definitely is looking better. It's just not completely curled up. So just keep an eye on it. Make sure it does curl up there and gets moving. PLTR, this one ran up from the earnings yesterday and it did curl up. And I was kind of surprised the way it was set up, but it did. It just popped and their earnings were super, super good. I think the CEO even said, like, what else do I need to say? Our earnings are killing it. So there you go. It ran up yesterday and it did run. So I was off on that one. I didn't even think literally the chart looked like it was coming down and that made a 90-degree turn. So did bounce off its support line right there, but a lot of them been coming down and it is super bullish. So it looks like it might want to get in the top. I'd be careful today on election day on PLTR, but I'll keep an eye on it and see what it wants to do. It is bullish. Rivian's up 8 cents, and this one's going to get moving, guys. So keep your eye on Rivian. I'm telling you, that one's looking really good right there. And I think that's going to get moving up. So that's Rivian, RIVN. Yeah, it's looking much better this morning. I can say that. And SPPL, that one did roll. We were looking at it last night, and it did pop up yesterday from like 33 to 137 or something crazy. Let me look. SPPL, what was it? 32 to 197, and this morning 189 to 250, and it's back to 180. So again, if you really want to catch them huge pops, you got to be up early in the morning at 4 a.m. on Webbull because that's when they're doing it. VMEO, Vimeo. This is that video company. They have a video site and it's looking really good. They're setting up to look good. VMEO. Wonder if they do something with Trump or something. I don't even know. But it looks really good right there. So I'm not sure what's going on. A shareholder letter available on its company's IR site, and it jumped up yesterday, or yeah, yesterday from it. So not sure, but it is setting up there. We'll have to keep an eye on VMEO and see what Vimeo is up to. And you can post some videos on their website at VSTE, Vast Renewables. We were looking at this as well, and it popped up yesterday. It was up in the top right there, VSTE. And let's just take a quick look. It ran up yesterday, 541 to 1088, and this morning 701, but came back down to 594. So Vast Renewables looks like it's pulling back, but it's still in the top there. So maybe it could bounce back up. Keep your eye on it and see if it will. And there you go with our Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Jolie. Greatly appreciate that. Let me know if anybody else wants to see anything. I know we have our laptop lowdowns. Let me take a look at the big caps and crypto and stuff. I'll look at crypto real quick. It was a little red this morning when I looked. 68,871 for Bitcoin right now. And it is just kind of pulling back. Let me see. Um, and it looks like it's bottomed out today. So I think today's going to be its little bottom. It crossed through, and I think you're about to see it rolling. So it looks like Bitcoin wants to get bouncing. Let's look at Ethereum. That's at 2,441. It's underneath. That looks like a bottom too, basing out, and I have a feeling you're going to see this start to crawl up. So Ethereum, it's just kind of looking like it wants to, not completely, but has that look. Ripple's at 50. And I think Ripple's about to curl up as well and start trying to move. Looks like a weird look where it doesn't know which way it goes. Solana's at 162 right here, and it's touched down at the 50, and that's a perfect touchdown right there to bounce right back. So I would say Solana's about to bounce. Doge is at 17, over 17, didn't even care, just started ripping. So remember I said it was going to roll off. It never crossed through, and Doge is going to go absolutely ape shit. So keep your eye on that. And Sheeb, that one's looking really good as well this morning. That's about to bounce off the 50 and get nutty. So it looks like we crypto's reacting to the election. And remember, Elon's a big Doge guy, and he's about to be in the cabinet. So what do you think's about to happen? And they're both very pro crypto. It's about to get wild, guys. And so that's what you're about to see with that. Let's just look at Bonk real quick and see what it's up to. That looks like it was trying to move, and it was underneath the 50 and the 100s up there, and that is starting to try to curl up right now, and you're going to see Bonk make a bonkers move as well. So that is your crypto report, and it is looking like it wants to get fired up on this election day. Market's still green, so that's a good look. And now let's look at our big caps, our SPY, and everybody else. Obviously, the SPY has got to be up if all the Mag 7s are up, but let's take a look. The SPY is up $1.14 to 570.95, and it looks like it is trying to curl up there. It made a bunch of room, which we were talking about before. I kept saying like 2, 3 weeks ago, these things need to make a lot of room, and I just couldn't tell when they wanted to dip. Well, they did dip. They all pulled back, made that room. And now they're ready to get fired up, guys. So here we go to SPY. GameStop is down 8 cents, but just sitting flat right there, getting ready to start moving soon. AMC's down 2 cents, but I'm telling you, this thing's about to get nuts. So keep your eye on AMC and Chewy. That's just sitting flat, has a weird look, but it was curling up, about to get through, and that's setting up. Even if it doesn't get through this time, it will next time, and it'll go crazy. So there you go with them. And let's look at our Mag 7 here. NVIDIA up $1.12, and it's trying to get up to that 20 again. And it is. They're just pulling back on the MACD, making some room and curling back up on that chart on the RSI. So their earnings are November 20th, a couple weeks out, about 2 weeks out, and it will get set up. It's looking bullish there for NVIDIA. Let's look at Apple. And I think Apple's going to start bouncing now. So it's down 23 cents, 221. Yesterday appears to be its bottom right there at 219. And it looks like Apple's about to curl up and get crazy. So keep your eye on Apple. It's looking great. Google, GOG, this one's starting to curl up and make a base. Looks like it wants to roll off and go back up to the top. So Google looks good right now. Amazon, I'm telling you, this one's going to start blasting off. Just let it pull back. It ran up, and that was a perfect option hit on that $200 right there, because the day before it closed at 186 and gapped up November 1st, Halloween to November 1st, and that was a beauty, I'll tell you that. And that's exactly what we're looking for, like our perfect hits. And DJT yesterday, boom. The most confident ones that you just know are going to rock and roll. And again, the penny stocks are fun, but you better be up at 4 a.m. trading them, and trading them smart as well. So, um, you look at these other ones that are pretty solid, and you can just lock them in, like Amazon and the Mag 7 big caps, things of that nature. It's much easier, I'll tell you that. So Amazon's setting up to get wild. Could have a tiny little pullback, but nothing crazy, and it is setting up right there. META up 267, and it is getting ready to roll. It made all that room, and it is setting up to get cruising off of that 603. So we're at 563. Remember, I wanted it to come down into the 550s. It didn't quite do it. Yesterday it was close. Oh, it did 557. I didn't even notice yesterday. It did get into the 550s yesterday, 557, and that's probably your bottom. Maybe it'll pull back a tiny bit more, but there you go. There's that 550 area that I was talking about, and Meta did come down there. So I should just stick with my gut and just know, and within a week or two, it's probably going to do what I say because within 1 to 3 weeks, these things just do exactly what if they're setting up to do it, they do it. And these were setting up to pull back. I kept saying it, and they kept running higher. And I was like, why do they keep running higher? They should be pulling back. Then they finally dipped, and now we're going to catch them pops on the way up this time. And it's going to be a beauty because these things are going to run like wildfires. So, Microsoft, MSFT, let's look at it because it's down to 409, up $1.20 this morning. And that one made plenty of room. I'd say yesterday was definitely your bottom right there at 405. So Microsoft's getting ready to rock and roll. All of them are looking great right there. Tesla is up 451, and Tesla's going to roll off and get wild, guys. So keep your eye on Tesla because it's looking really nice right there, and it's going to get cruising as well. And there you go with our Mag 7. And like I said, they're all looking nice. They're green this morning. The market's pretty green for election day, so you gotta love that look. And crypto's looking good to try and rebound. It looks like it's reacting to the election already. It looks like it knows what's going to happen, and so does the market. So they are two good things. We have our laptop lowdowns to look at. We looked at our Jolie's jumpers this morning, and now, like I said, let's look at the scanner and then our laptop lowdowns. Oh, what did I just click on? I have no idea. Hold on. I just clicked on something weird. Here we go. Let me just, oh, I was totally at the wrong spot on this page. Elab's on there. We went over that last night, and let's see. It looks like it is trying to set up here. It was down to 2.5 cents, and I'm telling you, this thing might, I was saying, look for it to make that hard curl up. It did move a little bit, but it's up 22% right now, and you're talking about 2 cents. So anything it moves, if anything less than half of it or less than a penny, is big movement on something that's at 2 cents. These like real small penny stocks, they a tiny bit of movement's a ton of percentage. So it is trying to curl back up there. Keep an eye on it, Elab, see if it wants to get moving today. I'll watch it. BNOX, we were looking at SPPL. How about that ALBT, guys? Remember that Avalon Globo Care? Well, that one's running up. It dipped really nice yesterday, and then it's popping up today. So a little dip and rip situation right there. And keep an eye on it because now it's setting up to get to that 515. It's at 420, and it's setting up to really run ALBT. And we were definitely early on that. That's the one I thought was a flooring company all that time, and it's a real estate company. So ALBT, you know we were early on that one. DJT's up. GSAT ran up yesterday, down 2 cents right now. PLTR way up. NIO, this one is setting up again. That Chinese, isn't that Chinese auto manufacturer? Yes, it is. And this one's trying to get set up. So keep our eye on that. The 50's coming down. That one looks interesting. NIO. So definitely, I'm going to keep my eye on that one today. Let me jot that down real quick. NIO. I know there's a couple that I was going to look at this morning. I'll run through them real quick. Let's just take a look at this page. Nothing on there. So yeah, things are just trying to get set up. Let me just look over here real quick, see if I see anything crazy. Yeah, there's like 5 of them, so nothing crazy. And that ZVSA already bounced up. So let me take a look at a couple of these. But I think this market's getting set up to get cruising. It's reacting now to the election, and we're going to get rolling. AKTS was looking good yesterday. That's yesterday's date. Still don't have anything for me today. AKTS, let me see. Yesterday's date, it was that crazy one where them lines are just running like in sync. It's pretty wild to see. I like it. I have to take a picture of that one. I don't see that very often, but I'll take a look at it. It's not doing anything. LGHL, the good old Lion. Let's see what Lion's doing. LGHL. And it is open this morning at 18 cents. What did it do yesterday? It closed at 18. So it's not really doing anything, but this one can get curled up pretty quick and start running. So, and it was setting up the other day. So, you know what happens with them. They pull back and then they get set up and run. BTBT, that looks like it appears to be up a little bit this morning. Let me take a better look. BTBT. That is today's date. Yesterday it closed at 3:45. That's what it opened at 3:52. So it opened up a little bit higher. I was having a hard time being able to tell there. So it did open up a little bit higher, ran up to 3:55 and came back to 3:42, which is and now it's at 3:45 and that's where it closed yesterday. So ran around a little. I couldn't tell what the heck was going on by looking at it real quick. So yeah, it ran around just a hair and then it basically came back to where it opened at. So there you go. But that one is setting up as well. BTBT, you can see it getting set up. And let's look at CETX real quick. I believe OV Grows wanted to see this. It's not doing anything there, but let me see if it's doing anything here. It is 21 cents to 22 and a much better look for you. So the 20 is up here at 37 and we ended up pulling back to 22. It was right up there on the 29th. It was at like 34 cents. So it wasn't that far from there and I think you're going to see a little bounce up. We'll take a look at it and see what the 20 what it wants to do today. Yesterday could have been its bottom right there for CETX and it could have been a bottom for a bunch of them apparently. So there you go with that one. And there were a couple that I wanted to look at from last night real quick for some people, and again not doing a whole lot, but they're doing a little something something. So there you go, I'll keep an eye on them. And let's look at our laptop lowdowns real quick. I have to find them. Hold on 1 second, let me get in there and just see where they are. Oh, right here. Let me hop on his page, the laptop travels page, and let me see where he posted them. I'm not even sure if he did post them. Let me see. I'm taking a look. He has a bunch. Here we go. 20. That's from Mondays. I'm not sure if he posted any this morning, but I'll just go through real quick. I know that VKTX he was talking about. Let's look at it because it was going to have that buyout. It did run up yesterday, pulled back, and let's see what it wants to do. That one's an interesting one for sure. VKTX at Viking Therapeutics. And like I said, it ran up like crazy yesterday, 87.99. Well, it it closed the day before at like 73 and then it opened at 87, ran up to 91, but came pulling back to 62. It had a lot of movement. And this morning it's at 63 and kind of just pulling back right there. So it's sitting in a good spot. And I think it might be trying to get set up. And Laptop Travel was saying that it was looking good for I think a buyout or something. I just clicked off of there, but there you go. With that one, VKTX, and yeah, I don't see a list. He usually has a list, and I don't even see one. I could be missing it, but I'm not sure. I'm just kind of scrolling through. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else as well. And Chasing Data said he voted for CETX. That's great. There you go. I like it. You're busting out the cool pictures right there on AI, huh? Busting out what are you using? Either that looks like you're using the Twitter the X AI on that picture right there. If I had to guess, I'd say that might be the X one or Chat GPT, but I don't think so. It looks more like X. Definitely doesn't look more Discordish to me. Could be like Canva or something, but there you go. That's my guess for where you're making your pictures. But yeah, Cheesing Data has some good pics right there. Just always popping them up for the for all the poppers and stuff. So let's see what else is going on here. Um, Let me check it out, see if you guys want to see anything else. And like I say, I don't see any laptop travel, which is fine. There's nothing that crazy going on. So it's definitely your civic duty, Mikey B, to go vote. And like I say, definitely go vote. I don't care who anyone votes for, just make sure you go vote. And it's important, and you can't really bitch about things if you don't necessarily vote. At least you can say, hey, I went and voted and tried to make a difference. If you don't go do that, there's no point in really bitching about things. So Um, so yeah, just go out and take the time, and it shouldn't take you that long. I know they've been having the early voting, so a lot of people did that already, and some of them lines were a little crazy, but and they were shutting polls down. There was I mean, our elections are just insane. Can we just go back to a paper ballot, show your ID, just like everything, just make it easy, and then you have people from both parties sitting there and just count everything. I mean, what is going on? And the only people that get to do mail-ins are veterans that are overseas and disabled people. That's it. And everyone else can make it to a poll. It's not that hard. We can all get to everywhere else. You can go to a poll and vote. I'm going today. And yeah, or open them up early like they do and just have polls, and you have to go show your ID like everything else and just go and vote. So, but it is just wild. And I've ran in the last two elections. I didn't run in this one. I ran as an independent. I've spoken about it before, and I've watched the craziest stuff happen in front of my eyes. I have pictures of things that are federally illegal happening in the polls, in the booths, and right in the voting things. I have a picture of a lady changing something. She has the booth open and doing something in the back of it while someone was in there voting. I was like, what is this lady doing? I'll post a picture later. It's crazy. So I've watched it, and I've also won at every single poll, and then got blown out in mail-in ballots. They actually, the one year I challenged it and still never heard back from the elections, the Board of Elections. There was literally more people voted in our town than we had registered voters. I don't know how that's possible, and I challenged it and never heard a word. So don't tell me that elections are run very fair, because it's crazy what goes on. I literally watched it happen in front of my eyes. So and I basically ran for the experience and to make a difference in town, because my town's run like a bunch of idiots. It's crazy what they do. They just take a lot of the money, just like everything else. It's all skimming money. It's so crazy what goes on. The corruption is so wild in this country. It is bizarre. And it basically comes from one party, to be honest with you. I live in a very democratic area, so I've watched it happen. Happens in our sports organizations. It happens in everything. It's so crazy how much greed there is and how crazy people are. How much money do you really need? If you need that much money, go get another job and invest wisely. Stop stealing from everything. It's insane. That's what our country's become. Politicians to just steal. And like I said, they're like our mob. They're like the mafia in Mexico. They run their country. Our politicians are basically the mobsters, and they run this country, and they do it illegally. It's wild. So hopefully it starts to change, because it's disgusting. You work hard and you just watch these criminals steal from everybody and line their pockets and do nothing. And it's just wild. So anyway, that's just our elections, and it is election day, and I'm going to vote. And like I say, it is very important, and hopefully our election system gets a little better. DJT is running up here this morning. I'm just looking at it. It's up to 38, 33, and it's looking strong. It wants to make that hard curl up and go nutty. So there you go with DJT. And I think that you can kind of see, actually, let's go through let's do the poly market real quick and see what's going on with our presidential stuff. Real quick, here we go. Let me do that before the end of the show. And we did our crypto, just making sure we did everything. Our Jolie's jumpers, our SPY, our Mag 7. Let me know if you want to see anything. And on this election day real quick, and let me just pull it up and tell you what they're doing right here. The presidential election winner as of now is at 62.1 Trump, 38% Harris. And like I was telling you, and go back and listen to exactly what I said. He's bullish and she was bearish. He would be popping up and she would be bouncing down. It's doing exactly like I told you guys the other day. And these charts, they just don't lie. That's why I love these, because they're the charts that I kind of like. I can read these ones and get a really good idea of what's going on. And that popular vote just looks a little crazy to me, guys. I don't know what's going on here, but if I were to look at this chart, I would immediately go, something's not right, because this thing should have already